Hello everybody, my name is Dutchy, welcome to the channel, and let's get right into this video. So, XDefiant just dropped, and you want to get better at the game. Now, one of the easiest ways to get better at the game is knowing what you're up against, or knowing your own abilities. So today we're going to be talking about all the abilities in XDefiant. Let's start off with the cleaners. Now, the cleaners are all about dealing damage with fire. The cleaner's passive ability is Incendiary Rounds. Now, these Incendiary Rounds allow you to deal extra damage compared to the other bullets that you would have with all the other classes. Now, this damage effect is a damage over time effect. If you were to shoot an enemy and they just popped behind the wall and they had low health, you'll be able to get the kill because they're still burning even after they get out of your line of sight. Another thing this is kind of helpful for is when you're in a gunfight with someone and you almost killed them, but they kill you instead. Well, guess what? You would have also killed them. The Incendiary Rounds would have dealt enough damage for you to get a free kill. A little bit cheesy if you ask me, but at the same time, I do enjoy it every single time I get a kill with it. There is definitely one negative thing about the Incendiary Rounds, and that is that you don't do as much damage on ranged targets. So if there's a ranged target, you won't be able to get those nice straight up damage hits. Although it will still apply fire damage, so it kind of counteracts it a little bit, I guess. Now let's talk about the Incinerated Drone, one of the abilities that you can get with the cleaners. So what this ability does, it is a drone you throw out in front of you and it will go into a straight line, detonating at the end of the line. Now, once it's detonated, there will be a nice little trail of fire that's get left behind. Now, any enemy who will step into this fire will obviously take fire damage. However, if you time it nicely and you actually throw the drone straight at someone, it will be an instant kill for anyone who's there, and any enemies that are around them too. I personally like to use this on hallways or doorways so nobody can enter the building for a little while. And if they do decide to rush through the fire, you can actually see little hit markers that you're getting, so you know that someone is running through your fire. They're also low, so it should be a pretty easy kill for you to get. Now let's talk about the second ability, Firebomb. Now, Firebomb allows you to throw a Molotov straight at your feet, killing anyone around you. This is extremely handy for when you run around a corner and there's a guy right there who's running around the corner at the same time as you. You just drop that and you win the fight. It is that simple. This will also leave a bit of a fire spread around you, making sure that enemies can't really enter that area without taking that tick damage again, and then you can still get an easy kill, if you do notice that tick damage. Now let's talk about the ultimate ability, the Purifier. Now the Purifier is straight up a big flamethrower that deals a lot of damage and actually has a lot more reach than I was expecting. Now with the Purifier, you can actually get almost instant kills as soon as the flyer goes onto them. It deals insane amount of damage, even being able to destroy a Libertile healing ultimate. One thing I have noticed about the flamethrower is that you definitely want to use it before you get into a fight. So you pop it before you go into a fight and then go around the corner and flame everyone. Just remember, if there's a sniper in the background, you're not going to be able to do anything against that sniper because, well, you have a flamethrower, which is kind of close quarters. So making sure that you're in a nice close quarter space before you pop it is also crucial. Now let's talk about the Phantoms. Phantoms are all about their tanking abilities. They don't do as much damage as the cleaners, but they make up for that with being able to take a few more shots by having 120 health instead of having their 100 health, which everybody else has. This is also their passive. Now, just like the cleaners, they also have two abilities you can choose from, which is the Mag Barrier and the Blitz Shield. The Mag Barrier allows you to put a barrier in front of you, which you can shoot through, but enemies can't shoot through themselves. This barrier also blocks grenades. However, it is not completely invulnerable. It can be destroyed if someone fires at it too much. If you want to know if an enemy barrier is low, there will be cracks in it. Sometimes you will be able to get those opportunities where they don't expect you to shoot straight through the barrier and then getting the kill on the person behind it. However, if someone pops a barrier in front of you and you notice it and you have time to get to cover, it's always a better shot for you to try to get to cover than try to break the barrier, because that barrier does have quite a bit of health when it first spawns. Now we move on to the Blitz Shield, which is a riot shield that you can deploy in front of you, blocking any incoming damage that is in front of you. However, you can still get shot from the sides and you can still take damage from grenades. This is, however, really good to rush a point early on, allowing the enemy to be distracted onto you while the rest of your team is taking the kills. You can still deal damage by meleeing people with the shield, although this does take 2 hits and sometimes the enemy can easily flank around you while you're doing this. Now we come up to their ultimate, the Aegis. Hopefully I said that properly, because I'm not too sure how to say that. However, this is a shield that goes fully around you, and you also get a equivalent of a shotgun that basically deals a lot of damage. If anyone tries to pop into your shield and you're looking straight at them, they're dead. There's no surviving that blast. It's an instant kill every single time. This ultimate is extremely good at taking points. If you want to try to take a point, jump on the point with that. No one's going to be able to deal damage to you. However, this does only last a limited amount of time, and just like the shield before, they can damage it enough so it will break, which means that your ultimate will end early. So do keep an eye on how much health you still have with the shield. If you also want to know if the shield's about to break, there's cracks in the shield that you will notice. If you're on the enemy team, maybe try shoot straight through it, because they won't expect you to actually do that. Now we move on to Libertad. Now Libertad is all about their healing. Every single one of their abilities has healing elements to it. Now their passive allows them to constantly regenerate a slight little bit of health, and also for any allies that are near them, they will also constantly regenerate a slight bit of health. Not as much as if you're waiting and then your health starts going up, but it is quite handy for when you're running around the corner and you actually got that little bit of extra health, meaning that you can get into the fight earlier again. Now their abilities are Bio Vida Boost, which allows you to have a canister on you, and if you pop that open, you and all your allies around you will get healed to maximum HP again, and you can go straight back into the fight. Extremely handy for when you're peeking a corner, get shot, need to quickly heal, so you pop that and then you can go straight back around the corner and finish your target off. There's also El Ramido, hopefully I said that right, which throws out a canister releasing gas in an area. Now this gas doesn't deal damage to anyone, but it does heal your allies and yourself. And obviously their ultimate ability, Medico Supreme, which also throws out a canister, but on the spot that you're standing on. So you will basically release your backpack and you'll pop it on the ground, and as it pops onto the ground, it will heal you to 200 HP. Now the craziest thing about this is, you can stand in that gas and you will basically get so much health from that enemies can hardly deal damage to you. You can stand in the middle of somewhere and just take all the damage. You become the ultimate tank in the game. Even better than the Phantom. Now we move on to the Echelon, the Splinter Cell faction. Now with these guys, they are 100% about sneakiness and stealth. Their passive ability allows them to not appear on enemy radars no matter what they do. They can fire any gun, even the LMG, and they can not show up on the radar, which is extremely handy. So basically think about it as the ghosts from Call of Duty. Now their first ability is Digital Ghillie Suit. Now Digital Ghillie Suit allows you to become mostly invisible, sort of like the Predator, and allows you to get some really good flanks on certain maps, so you can get behind the enemy and do some serious damage. One thing that really is noticeable about this is when you're moving or if you're aiming downside, you will actually be noticed a lot easier than if you'd just be standing completely still. So if you really want to get the drop on someone, stand completely still and then go for the kill afterwards when they have their backs turned. Now the second ability is Intel Suit. Now what Intel Suit allows you to do is send a little sonar wave out that spots enemy for a short period of time, allowing you to see them through walls. Allies can also see them through the walls, so it's very effective as a team strategy. Now their ultimate ability, Sonar Goggles, is the exact same as the Intel Suit, except it is a higher version of it. Only you can see everyone for a long period of time through the walls and not just in a specific little area. Also, you will equip a silence pistol, which does serious crazy damage. Now let's talk about DedSec. Now DedSec is the Watch Dogs 2 faction in the game, and they're all about their gadgets. Their passive ability allows them to regenerate any grenade that they throw, or mine. This is extremely handy for those people who don't die too often and still want to keep using their grenades. Hijack is an ability that allows you to hijack any of the enemy's equipment, including their shields or their spider bots that they're throwing at themselves. This also works on mines. Their second ability, Spider Bot, deploys a spider bot that seeks out an enemy and shocks them for a period of time. While they're shocked, they can still fire from the hip, but they cannot aim in, meaning that you have a very easy free kill, unless they have a shotgun. There's also a chance for the spider bot to actually latch onto your face and deal damage that way, and that way you can't do any damage to the opponent because you can't see anything and you're also kind of getting shocked. Now their ultimate ability is really good, but also doesn't really do damage or anything like that. This is called Lockout. Now with Lockout you get the ability to lock out every single person out of all their abilities. Now the only thing they can still do is throw their grenades, if they have any, or their mines. But their normal abilities are not gonna be able to be used. Alright, so that's all the abilities for XDefiant. Hopefully you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye!